Okay, so percent of a number is the next page. Everybody got it labeled?
Yeah.
Okay. So we already said that percent is out of 100. Okay, we're only doing one example in our book, so yes, I'm going to have you write it. Okay. You took a 20-question test. You got 17 questions. Please make sure you're writing this. Correct. What percent, Oscar, are you writing this? Then write it on notebook paper. Did you get correct? Okay. Now, we're going to use a proportion, but percent bars are also going to be very helpful because that's kind of how we set it up. And a percent bar is useful because it helps you estimate. When you estimate, are you looking for an exact number? No, you're rounding, okay? So, we can draw our percent bar like this. This is horizontal, or you can draw it vertical. Do I care which one you pick? No. Okay? I like this way. You do not have to, but we're going to do it this way for first. On the bottom, I'm going to put percent. And then on the top is going to be the questions. I'm going to put a Q for questions. Okay? Alright, so if I look at my problem, I see that I have 20 questions. Do you think that's probably the whole test?
Yeah.
So do you think that would be 100% of the test? Yeah. So I'm going to put it on top, and it's going to be the whole bar. So this bar is going to represent the whole test. Now, the whole test would be what percent? 100. Everybody okay? Pretty easy. Now it says you got 17 questions correct. What percent did you get correct? So do I know the percent? No. So 17 goes with questions. Do you think 17 is over here or over here? It's closer to the what? 20. So I'm going to put it somewhere over here. It does not have to be perfect. And I don't know the percent, so I'm going to put a what? Okay, you can put a question, but we're going to put an X, a variable. I don't have to pick X. I can pick Y, K, J. It doesn't matter. So you have your proportion set up. Once you set it up, go ahead and circle those numbers because this is what we're going to use in a minute. But first we need to talk about estimation. Because sometimes the question just wants to know the estimate. Okay. What is something you can break 100 into real easy?
50.
So 50. And that's by dividing it by what? 2. So what do you think 50% of the test was? How many questions? 10. Very good. Now, is it more than 10 or less than 10? It's more. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in because I know it's at least 10. Now, is at least 10? Do you think that's a very close estimate?
Yes.
I said, oh, you got at least a 50 on the test. Are you okay with that? Or do you want to know what you made? Okay, so I can divide 50 in half again and get 25. So then half of 10 would be what? 5. And you're thinking, well, why is she going backwards? If I know this, it's easier to go forwards. 25, 50, what percent would be next? 75%. How many questions do you think 75% would be? 15. Is it at least 15? Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and shade that in. Now, can I get much closer without actually having to do the work? No. So our estimate is I got between 75% and what? And 100%. My grade is somewhere between 75 and 100. And sometimes that's good enough. I just want to know, okay, kind of where do I stand? Does everybody see why it's between 75 and 100%?
Yeah.
Okay, but what if I said, well, I want to know my exact grade? I would set up a proportion. So you go back and look at the numbers that you circled. 17 goes with what? X. 20 goes with what? 100. Now, he could have also said, well, 17 goes with 20 and X goes with 100. So if you see it that way, that's okay. You'll get the same answer. Because when you multiply, 20 is across from X. Over here is 20 across from X. Yeah. So if you see it that way, that is perfectly fine. I'm not going to do it both ways, but I want to show you that it is both ways. You can either make your proportion this way, or you can make it this way. Either one. Now I'm going to cross multiply. So 20 times X equals what? 17 times
100.
17 times 100. Those are cross products. Now, do you think I really need to multiply out 17 times 100? Who knows a trick? What can you do, William? Add how many zeros? There's 2 zeros, so I just add 2 zeros to the end. If you wanted to do the multiplication, is that okay? Yeah. Okay. And then I bring down the 20x. And now we're back to that algebra stuff. One-step equation. What's being done over here? What's the opposite of multiply? Okay. So I need to divide both sides by what? 20. So I get x over here. Now, can I simplify this before I divide? They both end in a 0, so what can I do? I can divide by 10 to get rid of them. So now I'm really just dividing what? 170 by 2. Go ahead and do that for me real quick. And everybody's dividing. Not waiting for me. Yes, Alejandro. Anybody else get 85?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I got. But what's wrong with 85? It's a what kind of number?
Even.
Odd.
It's an odd.
You can't have an odd number? It's embarrassing. What's wrong with him? Thank you. He's naked. Put some clothes on him. It's 85%. My answer is 85%. Okay? Pretty easy, right? When you get your answer, go back to check. Was your estimate correct? Is 85% between 75 and 100? Yeah. So that kind of lets you know, okay. It kind of lets you know, okay, I got it right. Pretty easy?
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to do some more examples, but